January 23rd was the feast of Blessed Benedetta Bianchi Poro. She was the daughter and second of 6 children, afflicted with poliomyelitis at an early age, leaving her with a crippled left leg and a need to wear a brace to prevent her spine from deforming. A clever and happy child, she began to keep a diary at age 5. It became a lifelong record of her faith, which she carried with her, the way she carried the cross of her disability. Much of her primary education was provided by the Ursulines. In her teens, she began to lose her hearing, and her overall health continued to deteriorate. By age 17, she enrolled in the University of Milan and planned to study physics, but later changed to medicine. Some teachers objected to a pre-med student who was so deaf that she had to have written questions during an oral exam. But Benedetta was an excellent student. In 1957, her studies had reached a point where she was able to diagnose herself. She had Recklinghausen disease, neurofibromatosis, which leads to paralysis of the nervous system. She had surgery in 1958 to treat part of the condition, but it was a little benefit and left the left side of her face paralyzed. She continued her studies. But in 1959, she began losing the sense of touch, taste, smell, and was completely deaf and had to give up the idea of medical career. Benedetta had further surgery in August 1959. It left both legs paralyzed. It seems like every time she got a surgery, she got off worse and left her wheelbound. She then turned her sick room into a center of support and communication for others. Her friends from medical schools were frequent visitors, and she began correspondence in person or in print. She was uniformly optimistic about her life and love of God. Benedetta and her family visited Lourdes in May 1962 in search of a cure. And a paralyzed girl lying next to her was completely healed, but there was no change for Benedetta. In Milan, 27 February 1963, Benedetta had another operation that left her blind. I thought she was already blind. She could barely speak, and she could only move her right hand. However, the number of visitors increased as word of her holiness and her gentle understanding of to love God even these circumstances. On June 24th, 1963, she went again to Lourdes as her family waited for her to be healed. She received her own miracle, the understanding that she would not change a thing about her condition. So the miracle was that she finally came to the understanding that she was happy in her suffering, and she was still, the most important thing was she was able to communicate, to pray, and to correspond back and forth with God. And that was technically the most important thing of all. More, even if you were the richest and the healthiest and the most popular, if you don't have God, you ain't got nothing, right? So she finally came to that recognition that she had the most important thing, as Jesus said to Martha. Mary has the most important thing, and I won't take it from her. A few notes out of her diary. The universe is enchanting. It is great to be alive. That's what she said at age 7. Someday soon I will hear only the voice of my soul, and that is the road I will follow. For those who believe, everything is a sign. To a letter to a friend, she wrote, "Sometimes I find myself defeated under the weight of this heavy cross. Then I call upon Jesus and lovingly cast myself at his feet. He kindly permits me to rest my head on his lap. Do you understand, Maria Gracia? Do you understand the ecstasies? Do you understand the ecstatic joy of these moments?" That's Jesus would be speaking to her. Blessed Benedetta Bianchi Poro, who understood her sufferings and made the best of it. Pray for us. St. Vincent Pallotti, pray for us. All the saints pray for us. Please pray for the souls in purgatory.